But that really freaked me out.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't even have social media, and all this is on the internet about me.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the new episode of Playdate Podcast presented by Cerita Lanaa, and with me, your host today, Dea Folzet. And today, we will continue our discussion with the new guest, and today we have Jasmine Taudvid.
Hi.
It's
Yes, that's great.
Jasmine, please let us know who are you.
Sure. I'm Jasmine.
Okay.
I'm from Maine in the U.S. I did an undergraduate degree in English journalism and international affairs. I've worked a bit as a TV news producer in Maine and taught English in Italy and Austria for a bit. Now I'm in this program with you.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested in the ways we teach history to very young children, shared global history to young children.
Okay, so Jasmine, today we will play this game.
Mm-hmm.
We call it Chongklak.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say it?
Chonkla.
That's great. But the fun fact, the way I and Anggi and I call this game, it's different. She call it dakon. I don't know, maybe because we live in different island, like so it makes different. But the way we play the game, it's similar. I'll tell you. I'll explain how to play the game. So we have this self. Actually, it should be like 50, but I don't know. After playing this game several times, I lose like 2. This is your hole, and you should collect yourself here.
Yeah.
And this is mine, and then I should collect it here because we have like 5 hole. So each of hole we need to fulfill it by 5. So okay.
4 to 5. My family had a version of this game.
Oh.
Called, what did they call it? I think it was called Mandala.
Okay.
I don't
Mandela.
know. I don't know where that name comes from.
Okay.
Mandala with 2 A's, no E's.
Okay.
But I'm not sure where the name comes from, or maybe the company that produced it.
So anyway, did you pay attention the way we
I think so. I pick a thing, and I put 1 in each.
Okay.
I skip your hole here, right?
That's how to play the game, but what I mean, it's like, did you pay attention the way we fill our hole? Because it's kind of like different.
I don't know.
Because you take it and then you fill it like one by one.
But and you didn't.
No, I'm doing like grabbing all of them and then on it. Actually, when I'm doing this game, I didn't pay attention to that. In the second episode, Amy told me about this. And then after that, I pay attention for every of us.
And is there a lot of difference?
Yes. But I modified a bit this game because we need to talk during playing. So it's only like one time play. I grab this and then I'm doing 1, 2 like this. Yeah. And then that's it.
Yeah, okay.
It will be just like that.
No multiple turns.
No.
Okay.
Before we begin the game, we will do scissor paper, but in Indonesian version.
Teach me.
So we have these 3. We call it as elephant. As
elephant people.
And ant.
Ant.
Yes. So ant beat elephant. Elephant beat people, and people beat ant. You get it?
Yes. Why does ant beat elephant?
There is no reason.
Okay.
Okay, that's just we do the game.
Because they're fire ants and they bite them and they get really annoyed.
Maybe it could be. So we will do like
elephant, people, ant.
Yes.
Got it.
It's like and then we will count 1, 2, 3, but in Indonesian version. 1, 2,
2,
3, and then okay. Yes.
1, 2,
2, 3. Okay, we'll do that. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I will. Sorry. So it means I will play first, and then you'll do after me.
Okay.
When I do it, I will give you a question, and then after you do that, you answer my question.
Okay.
It's just like that. Anyway, I forget one thing. We have 2 icons in our program, Lala and Nano. So which team are you? If you think you as an updated person, you are team Lala. But if you think you are a borderless person, you are team Nano.
I'm going to say borderless.
So you are team Nano.
Okay.
Okay, I'm team Lala. Okay. So in the end, we will see. Is it
Nano.
Lala, team Lala or team Nano will that win. Okay, so I'll go first.
Yeah.
So the first question, since I have shared my childhood traditional game, could you share your childhood game too?
Yes. I had to think quite a bit about this because I don't know if we really have specific traditional games that maybe the whole country does or anything. So I ended up thinking of one that's more for my family anyways. So we call these parlor games because back when my great-grandmother was around, she played them in the parlor. It's just sort of like a living room.
Oh, okay.
So everyone would come over and you'd sit in the living room or the parlor, as they called it at the time, and they would just play these games for hours for fun. So in my family, we still call them parlor games. I think other people might know them as like summer camp riddles because a lot of them are played at summer camps. But so the basis of the game is it's a riddle of a sort. So a really famous one is called Green Glass Door. So I would say, what goes through the green glass door? I can tell you grass goes through the green glass door, but dirt does not. Glass goes through, and walls can also go through. But ceilings can't. So you have to figure out what the rule of the game is that makes these things work.
So the rules you decide together how.
However, each parlor game has its own rule that's specific. So a lot of them are quite old and have like one rule. But that being said, my family really loves these. And so we know so many of them that we've started making up our own too. So then we would make up the rule.
So it's only in your family?
Not.
Or have you ever found it in the others?
I've met plenty of people who know the games. It's just I think many people play them for summer camps or team building activity kind of things. And my family just plays it for fun in my family. And we did it a lot when I was growing up.
Because there are sometimes we forget the game.
Yeah.
So and do you think this game has like something influence you as you grow up?
Yeah, I think because we were doing it from such a young age, and in my family anyways, it's a very strong rule that you don't tell the person the answer. So I can't tell you what goes through the green glass door. I can't tell you why those things can and can't go through. You have to figure it out for yourself. And so as a kid, even though I was really little, they still weren't going to tell me the answer. And if you didn't figure it out, you just had to wait until you could figure it out. And if you were maybe too little to process or do the creative problem solving to figure it out, just wait till you're old enough to figure it out on your own. You never get told the answer by someone else. So I think it taught me sort of problem solving skills and the value and the joy of problem solving and riddles and of thinking, sort of collective pondering, if you will, like a whole group of people questioning without really necessarily finding an answer at the end, and just having so much fun with that. And also I would say independent determination as well, because this could go on for a really long time. You could be on a camping trip for 1 to 2 weeks long, and you're trying to figure out the whole time. And when it ends, you still don't know the answer, and you keep trying to figure it out, even not giving up. And finding that fun as well.
But actually, this is just come to my mind because you said sometimes you just waiting until you know the answer from yourself. But sometimes, have you ever really curious? I really want to know the answer. It's like you ask your mom, please tell me.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because it started so young that it was so ingrained in us as a value. So then when we knew the answer and we would tell it to our friends, then we were like, no, I'm not telling you. You have to figure it out yourself. So it became like part of the fun of the game. And also, I think once you know 1 or 2 of them, it's easier to figure out others. There is a sort of pattern for how the games work. I may have been a bit like, oh, just tell me. But I think we learned pretty quickly that that was part of the game, was to
Okay.
not be told.
Oh, okay. But actually, when you told me about this,
Mm.
I feel like, yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
It's really you.
Yeah.
Especially when you said it's about riddle. That's really Jasmine.
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
like, yeah,
riddles and puzzles,
yes.
and linguistic, the
Yeah.
fun of language as well,
Yeah.
because many of them rely on linguistic patterns,
Oh,
I'd
okay.
say. So as soon as you start figuring it out, you're like, oh, language is so fun as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Yeah.
This game also like influence you to be more competitive.
I think it's not like a competitiveness with other people,
Okay.
more competitive with yourself.
Oh,
like
okay.
you want to figure it out.
Okay.
So then once you know it, it's like not fun in the fact that you know it. It's fun that you can then tell other people it. So it's like the process is more fun than the end goal, which was definitely a big thread of how my parents raised my brother and I, sort of process over product thinking.
My next question, because this podcast, especially trying to talking more about digital or media literacy.
Yeah.
Do you still remember your first experience with media, your early experience with media?
I think the very first would have to be just CD recordings, because we had a CD player in our kitchen, and I feel like probably not every day, but in my memory, it was constantly, my mom had CDs being played in the kitchen all the time. And it was always like really upbeat, dancey music.
Oh, okay.
So whenever there was a CD playing, there was always someone dancing around, even if it was just themselves in the corner or something, whatever they're doing. So just music constantly.
Okay.
Other than music, I would say the first thing would have to be books and reading. My parents always read us a book every night before we went to bed. So probably the earliest would be like reading stories to us. And then also just visually, our house is covered in books. My mom loves books, and she's a teacher. So she has like floor to ceiling bookshelves, basically covering the walls of 2 different rooms of our house. And then over time, my brother and I developed the same in our bedrooms.
Okay.
So today, I think we probably have a good 4 rooms of our house covered floor to ceiling wall.
Books. Wow.
Yeah. So we're just surrounded by books. So even when I was really little, before I could really read well, I remember going up and finding books on the shelves and taking them off and just looking at them and reading. Like, I didn't really know what I was saying, and I kind of have a vague memory of, from my perspective, looking at words and thinking, I don't know what this means. But just holding the books and like pretending to read and looking at them was definitely just a sort of magical, like, ooh, what is this? I want to know more about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the screen?
Screen, I think watching, I wouldn't be able to say which of these came first. I remember we watched, we had a bunch of VHS tapes, if you know what a VHS tape is.
No, I don't know, honestly.
It's a bit older technology, I think. It was like sort of thick rectangle like this, and you put it into the VHS tape player, and like I think it had film in it. Could be wrong on that. You might want to double check. And it would like spin, because you had to rewind them. So if you had watched a whole one, then you had to click rewind to get it to the start again. So it must have had actual film in it. So we had a bunch of VHS tapes, and we would watch those. And the VHS tapes we had a couple children's ones that were, I think, Dora the Explorer, Little Bear, and The Wiggles.
Okay.
I think that might have been it, just those 3 maybe. And then we had a couple like old MGM musicals, like Singing in the Rain, West Side Story, Hello Dolly. So I don't know which one I would have seen first. Maybe the little kid ones, but we really didn't watch that much TV. Our TV also just didn't have many channels on it. I think it had like 2 channels, and they were both the news. So it wasn't something we watched as kids. It wasn't something my parents really watched either. So it was sort of a special occasion every once in a while, and it was usually a musical if we watched something. Yeah. Okay.
So one thing that really intrigued me when we just knew each other, like in the first semester, when you said like, you don't have like social media, and then you also told me a bit the story behind that. But so my question is like, what make you or why you decided to step back from social media, and then what the story behind that?
Yeah. I think in general, I was never really interested in it from the beginning. I didn't have a phone until I was 16, which
16?
was on the older side for our age group, I think. Yeah, most of my friends had the slide up flip phones, maybe when they were like 9 or 10 years old when they started getting them. And so I didn't get one. At the time, by the time I was 16, it was an iPhone that was coming out. So I had an iPhone first when I was 16. But until then, like, my friends, of course, were communicating with each other through their phones. I didn't even have an email, so I couldn't even email them.
Okay.
And so I do remember a little bit being annoyed that I couldn't have an email because my parents wouldn't let me. And eventually, maybe when I was 12, I convinced them to let me make an email so I could. But I didn't really use it that much. Mostly, I would just make plans with my friends ahead of time. Or all my friends had my mom's phone number and also our home land. We had a landline that was like corded against the wall, and they all had that phone number in their phones. So if we were out and I was with them and I needed to contact my home, I would just use their phone. Or if I was out and my mom needed to contact me, she would call one of my friends and it would get to me. And if I wasn't with any of my friends, I would probably just go up to a random stranger and ask them to borrow their phone. So in some ways, I think it helped me get really comfortable talking to strangers. To this day, I love talking to strangers. If I'm lost in a city, I would much rather ask a stranger than look at Google Maps, just because I think it's kind of fun. I think that's probably because I didn't have a phone as a kid. In some ways, yeah, I was definitely excluded a bit from certain social things. If you don't have Snapchat, and that's how all friends are chatting, you know, maybe miss out on a few inside jokes. But I was pretty against screens and technology in general as a person. I thought that they would like ruin your brain and kill your brain cells. I was always going on about it. So that helped a bit. And then also it helped a bit with sort of figuring out who my real friends were. Because the people who really wanted to be my friend, they'd figure out other ways to communicate. You know, they'd call my mom and say, "Hey, is Jasmine available?" Or they'd talk to me in person and track me down. They'd make it work. So the people who, like, if I said, "Oh, I don't have a way to contact you through social media," and they kind of didn't want to be my friend because of that, I was kind of like, okay, well, good riddance. They probably didn't care that much about me anyways. So in some ways, it helped me develop better friendships, I think.
And still talking about when you told me your experience about searching your name on Google, and then it scared you. Could you tell us about that story, and then what was you thinking at that moment as a child, and now?
Yeah, so I think I was 10 or 11. It was a 5th or 6th grade. And we had to go to the library, and they had this sort of digital literacy class. And it was sort of a one-off. Maybe we went twice. It wasn't very many times. And that particular class, they were teaching us like about your digital footprint and how everything you put on the internet is going to stay there forever. It's never going to go away. And so to illustrate that, they told us to Google our names. And so I Googled my name. And at the time, right, I had no social media. I had no phone. I had nothing. And I Googled my name, and so much came up about me.
Oh, really?
So many things. There were a couple like local news articles, or I think I had been in some choirs, and it like showed that I had participated in the choirs. So yeah, a lot of articles and photographs of me as well came up. And of course, there was more for my other friends who had social media. But that really freaked me out. So I was like, I don't even have social media, and all this is on the internet about me. And since then, I've come to realize also that I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain I'm the only person in the entire world with my name. Because if you Google me to this day, the only thing that comes up is stuff about me. There's no one else in the mix that I'm getting confused for when you're Googling me. And then if you get past me, then it's just stuff about my family members and distant family members as well. So only about me. So even at like 10, 11 years old, I was thinking, oh my God, anyone in the future is going to be finding this stuff. So for future jobs, employees Google people now before they hire them, right? So they're going to see everything about me that's ever existed. So I felt like because there wasn't any other Jasmine Taudvids in the world to confuse me with, if there was like some mistake I made in my teenage years that got on the internet, then they would see that for the rest of time. It's not going to get mixed up with other people with my name. So I was super careful about what I put on the internet after that. And also for safety, because if I'm the only person with my name, I'm going to be very easy to find. So there are a couple people in the world specifically that I would rather not know where I was. And if they really wanted to track me down, they probably could. Yeah.
And do you regret that decision? What do you think as a teenager at that moment, or children at that moment, you don't hype with the trend?
Yeah, I think I don't regret it. I think nowadays, now that we're moving into our professional lives, the only concern I have is that it might hinder professional opportunities for me. And so I do have a LinkedIn now, so I have that. But even a lot of people have a professional LinkedIn account, or a professional Instagram account. And so I feel like sometimes that could hinder me in the future if the people who have professional Instagram accounts are maybe getting more noticed by different, I don't know, companies or universities and academia. So that is my only current concern about not being on social media. And maybe I will create a professional account in the future. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. But in general, I don't regret it at all. I think in the US, I don't know how it is in other places, but from my perspective, I feel like in the US, your life on social media is very branded. I think there's a lot of pressure to sort of market yourself and brand yourself in a way, and not just online, just in general from a very young age, to sort of market yourself and brand yourself to be the most successful in life. And the thought of doing that in a digital space just gives me the ick, because I am a human being. I'm not a product to be marketed. You know, I get if you're a public figure, you as a person are a product in a way, right? But I don't want to be a public figure. I would rather not be a product and market myself or brand myself, because then it puts you in this very specific structure. And there's even like I don't know if you've heard this phrase, but I feel like in high school a lot of people, if you said something that was predictable because it fit your personality or something, people would say, oh, that's very on brand of you. Or if you said something that was a bit unexpected, they might say, wow, very off brand of you. So again, the sort of framing of your personality as a brand almost.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I really hate that. I really hate it. I get why it maybe occurs in US society, because so much of the society runs on marketing and branding and capitalism, right? Yeah. But I really hated that. So another reason why I didn't want to be on social media spaces. And also just in general, I feel more alive without it. The few times I have gotten them occasionally, and I always ended up deleting them, because I feel less alive when I'm sort of thinking about, maybe I'm out of place and I'm thinking, oh, will I post this later? Oh, is this a good shot to post it here or whatever? So it's just, I feel like I'm not in the present moment. I'm not, I'm sort of filtered and looking at myself through other people. And when I'm not in the digital space so much, I feel more like I'm here, I'm living all parts of my life fully.
Oh, because sometimes when the answer is kind of like trigger me for something that just happened in Indonesia or in my life, I forget we should stick with the game. Let me play first. So from what you said, the first that I want to ask, it's maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm trying to reduce my screen time, because could you guess my weekly reports for the screen time? 13 hours a day. See?
So long.
Yes, that's so bad.
More than my waking hours.
Yes.
I think I'm only awake from 9 to 9.
So because of that report, and it's not happen only like 1 week. It's happen maybe it start from the summer holiday, and then I'm just keep scrolling, and then it still be my routines until now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not good. Okay, I'm trying to reduce my screen time. First, I delete my TikTok, and then it's still in 10, 12. It's still many because even though I don't have TikTok that make me scroll,
Yeah.
I still have Instagram.
You can scroll on that. Yeah.
Yes, and then I delete my Instagram. It's not like deleting the account,
Just so it's not on your phone.
And then I feel like, oh, maybe it will be better. And the report is still 12. What happened? I just realized.
You go move to YouTube.
You can guess it. Yes, I moved to YouTube. So I'm trying to delete the YouTube application from my phone, but I'm still watch the YouTube from my laptop. Even though I'm not scrolling, I'm just watching the YouTube. But I scroll LinkedIn now. No, sorry.
LinkedIn of all places.
Yes. I just got an email at that time. It's from the minimalists. If you ever heard about them, they talk about minimalism.
Yeah.
It's like 2 American talking about that. And then I got the email from them. It's like their newsletter email. And then in that email, they said, now scrolling, it's like smoking.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, and I feel like,
it's so funny you say that, because the way you were talking about, like, it's not about the content, it's about the scrolling action.
Yeah.
It makes me think of something my dad used to say, because my dad used to work helping people to quit smoking in the US.
Oh, okay.
And he used to say that one of the things that he would suggest to them is to get a carrot stick or a straw or something that they could hold as if it was a cigarette and move it back and forth, because he said a lot of the addiction is just the movement. And so if they replaced the cigarette with like a carrot and they were just eating carrots from the motion, it would almost stop the other parts of it because you still had the motion. So it just made me think of that, because it's like, it's just this or this, giving me carpal tunnel.
So at that moment, I also reduced my time for holding my phone. So before sleep, I'm trying to put my phone in my bed wardrobe. Like, really hard to find. But in my first day, I'm trying to sleep at 10, and then I didn't sleep until 5.
5 a.m.?
Yes.
Wow.
It's because it's hard for me, because I feel like I need my phone. I need
to fall asleep.
Yes. And then I'm trying. I didn't catch my phone at that moment, but I didn't sleep. I'm just like this in my bed. And then after 5, because I need to pray at that moment, I'm trying to make an excuse for finding my phone. And then I get my phone just to check, okay, this is the time for pray. And then like, okay, I get message. And then I put it back. After that, I can sleep.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's like the routine is so ingrained. You'd have to find a new routine to take the place of that to get sleep.
Because you don't have, or you are not into social media, you get this benefit. Or maybe like, just share your opinion about being this lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Well, first of all, I say I'm not immune. Like, the times I have had different social medias, I would get sucked in just as much as anyone else. And like, it is definitely an addiction, you know? And I think the addiction would scare me a bit. And so whenever I notice that I'm getting close to that sort of edge, I would be like, oh my God, delete everything immediately, because it would scare me so much that I don't want to have that controlling my life. I don't know if this is going to work anymore for kids who are young now, but I remember lying in my backyard in the grass and just staring up and watching the clouds and the sky for like hours on end and just daydreaming. I don't know if you ever did something like that as a kid, right before screens took over. And that feeling of just no strict timeline, you're just daydreaming, there's no responsibility, you're just letting your mind go where it wants to go, feels so good. And I think, I don't know exactly the science behind it, but that time period when you're not specifically using your brain for something in particular really
That's good.
helps you process things.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
giving your brain a rest, a break from things, right? There's no stimulation coming in or out. You're just
Yeah.
resting, but you're not sleeping,
Yes.
right? So that is difficult to get to that point when
Okay.
you've gotten really addicted to screens. Then when your brain's like screaming because you put it down and it feels like boredom super intensely, right?
Yeah.
And to get past that, to get to the really nice feeling of nothing, it's hard to get back to that place of daydreaming that we used to have all the time as kids. So I think I've really prioritized having that as much as I can. And when I feel like, oh no, I've put my screen down and I'm like stressed about having nothing to do, the feeling of having that stresses me out because I want to always be able to go back to that daydreaming space whenever I can. And so for that reason, this is controversial opinion, but for that reason, I love doctors' waiting rooms. Because sitting in a doctor's waiting room, I'm not doing anything. I'm not on my phone. I'm just like watching people, watching the wall. The timeline is undetermined, but I'm not in charge of ending the waiting. Someone else is in charge of ending the waiting. No responsibility. It kicks me back into that daydreaming space so fast.
But you know, even though I cannot sleep at that moment, but I remember I really like talk to myself. I'm trying to like remember what happened the other day, what I want to do in the future. So I think I agree. Even though that's my first time, my first day for trying to do that. So it's not easy, of course.
It's not.
But I think
it's so healthy.
I get the point. It's like even though it's at night, it's like daydreaming. I'm doing the daydreaming for even though I cannot sleep. I think I have two last questions. First, because I know now you have a social media and you said that's for the picture that you took during traveling and then your family can check it. But I remember because it's the name of your social media, it's related to our program. I remember that the next upcoming cohort, it's like they tag you.
They kept tagging me. I think they thought I was taking photos from other people to post.
So it's kind of like funny because I follow him. We follow each other. So I think he thought your account it's like the program account.
I think so.
But actually,
just landscapes.
Yes. But my question is like how you decide what you want to post.
I think for the Instagram that I have right now, which was just created because some friends at home were saying like, oh, I want to know what you're doing. And I would say, well, then text me. And they were like, oh, but I'd rather just passively see it online. I was like, fine, whatever. So I made an Instagram account just for landscape photos of things that I saw here with no people in them. I sort of have rules for myself, so I don't get too sucked into it. So one rule is I'm not in it. It's just landscape photos. Another rule is I never put really captions. Like I don't want to think very much about it. I just pick the photo, click post, and I don't add captions. I don't add hashtags. Like it's very low thought. And then also I won't do it on when something is happening. So if I'm at a place and let's say I took a cool photo of it, I'm not thinking about what I'm going to post when. And then maybe at the end, 3 months later or a month later or I don't know, sometimes it's like at the end of the semester. Then I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll put some and I'll just go through my camera roll and pick like the top ones that I think are nice. And I'll post them all. And I don't even put them, like, you know, you can do like a carousel. I usually think I just click put a post because it's like 8 different photos posted. So I don't think I'm using Instagram very, like, I'm not maximizing the algorithm by any means, but that's part of the point. Like, I'm really forcing myself to be thinking about it as little as physically possible because the more I think about it, the more it controls me instead of me just having it on the side. So, and even sometimes with that one, there have been times I've thought, maybe I should just delete it. I think I'll make it through to the end of the program. And then, well, if I made a professional account, again, it still probably wouldn't have my face in it much. And I'd need to have specific professional things I was doing to make it worthwhile. So maybe I'll turn it into that, but I don't know. I think I would have to think about it a lot and sort of set rules for myself as well. And for LinkedIn, I think I was forced to make one in undergrad for one of my classes. We all had to make a LinkedIn. And then for that class, we had to make some posts or something. And then after that, I think I didn't really do very much until we started this program again. And then I saw all of you were posting at the end of every semester, thanking all our professors and talking about all the cool things you've done. And I was like, oh man, like, if I'm the only one not thanking our professors, that's not a good look. So then I was like, okay, I guess once at the end of every semester, I'll make one post on LinkedIn saying everything I did and saying thank you, and that's enough. So yeah, a lot of rules basically.
Yeah, don't forget again, Jasmine. So I will put it as, so it will be my last question. When it comes to speak to the real native speaker like you, sometimes feel like intimidating for me. And I remember maybe like in the first semester and maybe until the second one, I still feel like, should I talk to Jasmine? And also I remember like in first and the second semester, let's say if we have class at 10, I'll go really early because I need to prepare myself. So I need to speak to myself in English. So everything English setting. But now, even though sometimes I feel like speaking in English, it's still, I need to put some effort, but I feel like more relaxed and I think more confidence too. But I'm trying to think why it's happened to me. And maybe it's because in Indonesia, I can say this is very stereotyping or something like very general happens in Indonesia when you speak in English and then you say it in incorrect grammar. People, they are Indonesian people will correct it, and sometimes they will make it as a joke. So I want to ask you as the native speaker itself, how do you see, or maybe when you speak to people non-native like me, and then sometimes they don't say it in correct grammar, will you understand them or will you see, oh my god, what he say? Like, it's like, what do you think about that?
In general, it really doesn't make a difference.
Oh, okay.
I think as long as you're communicating what you're trying to say, that the specific grammar doesn't really matter so much.
Okay.
I think I would say native English speakers probably, I think, are stopped a bit more by accents they haven't heard as much, more than grammar.
Oh, okay.
Like, I feel like English is quite malleable. We can really like understand our way around, no matter how you it's a structure, really. So sometimes I think if someone hasn't heard a particular accent very much, it might take them a minute to readjust their ears to that particular accent. But then once I've like adjusted my ears to that accent, then it's fine. It doesn't really matter so much if there's grammar mistakes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, first of all,
there
are so many different ways people speak English around the world. There are so many different dialects, all of which are like legitimate ways to speak English. There's no like one proper English way. That's not a thing. And language changes constantly, right? And it's not because someone who had a rule book said, oh, we're changing the structure of the grammar. This doesn't happen, right? It's because people started using the language differently. And then over time, we're just like, well, that's just how it is now, right? So there's no like one correct way to speak English. There's no one correct way to speak any language. And there's even places like there are dialects that have been developed based on lots of people from different languages using English in different ways, and then that creates its own dialect, like MLE English, which is, I think it's called Multilingual London English, and it's based off all these different people from all over the world being in the same space and talking to each other, and that developed its own dialect with specific grammar differences. So you are actively a part of how English is changing and shaping itself. Whether you're speaking specifically how you were taught or not, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're communicating with someone. I love the way language can change just as much. And I love how language structures can be used to subvert power structures.
Okay.
You know, so don't be afraid to speak English. Also, most generalizing here, most people who are native English speakers probably don't speak many other languages.
Yes.
A lot of monolingual English speakers out there. So if you're talking to someone who's a monolingual English speaker, you're the cool one.
Yeah.
You're the one who knows multiple languages.
Yes.
And it's the native speaker who's going to have to adapt to you if they want to communicate. So they're the ones maybe have to slow down their communication style a little bit. Or but you're the one who is put in all the effort to learn another language, which is incredibly impressive. And you should just be proud of yourself for trying to learn another language and successfully communicating. Language is malleable and flexible, and I don't think anyone should ever say there's only one way to speak a language.
Agree. Yeah. So I think that's... Oh, don't forget.
Oh, right. Okay, which one was the best? Well, I guess no matter what, I'd only get one more here, right?
I don't know. You could try.
I'll just do this one.
You wanna try how if you you take this?
Well, no, it wouldn't have.
Okay. So to know who wins, we will count ours. 1, 2, 9,
8.
So
good game.
So your team, I'm Team Lala. So congratulations for Team Lala. You win the game. Thank you so much for participate in this podcast. Anyway, we have something for you. You can check it actually.
Okay.
and then I will explain why I gave it.
Okay.
So, sorry. I give you, this is the postcard of one of province in Indonesia. So this is Banten. So in Banten we have really big airport. The name is Soekarno-Hatta. So every international flight will be there. So I never going to Banten for specific reason. I just go there for going to the airport. So this is for you.
Yay!
And also you get money. So this is Indonesian. Do you know this is the money that I bring here? I didn't plan to bring the money, but the money that I have just for buying a food in the airport. And then I still have this, and I'll give it to you. The very historical money. And do you know, when I went here in the beginning of September last year, this money it's equals £1.
Nice.
Now it's equal €1.
Amazing.
And then I'll give it to you. Maybe you can use it later when you visit Indonesia.
Yes, absolutely.
But you can, at least you can buy a breakfast.
Oh, amazing. That's really good.
Yeah. So hope it will be useful for you when you come to Indonesia.
Yeah, and I will. Okay. I absolutely will.
Okay. So thank you so much, Jasmine.
Thank you.
We will close this podcast. And you know, every time I close the podcast, it will be always awkward. So I will say Playdate Podcast, and then you will say reminiscing your childhood memories. Thank you so much for watching. Me, Dea, and Jasmine will end this podcast. So let's meet again for another episode in Playdate Podcast.
Reminiscing on childhood memories.
Yay, bye!